to the community. Empowerment Group. Log us on WCEG Talk Radio. Watch us live on your smart television, Roku, cable channel, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and now Fanbase and Blue Sky. Search us on WCEG and subscribe us on all social media platforms. I am your host for the next hour. My name is Damita Chatman. Everything that is said today is the opinions of the guests and the host, not the producer. Download us on free WCEG mobile apps, Alexa Play, WCEG Talk Radio. Listen to WCEG on any 12 podcast stations. Lastly but least, I gave you the disclaimer. Thank you so much. My name is Damita Chatman, and today we have Caroline Denise Lawrence. I'm going to call her Miss Lawrence today. It's funny, and I'm going to say this. Me and Denise went to school together. We grew up together. We're good friends, and this is, I think, the first time that I've seen her face in over 40 some years. But when we talk, we it's just like when we were little girls. I want to thank Denise, Miss Caroline Lawrence, for coming today. We're going to talk about Social Security, the new law in disability. I'm going to give her a minute to uh, tell us a little about, and then we're going into the questions.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I am honored. And yes, we go way back when we used to play jacks together. You know that's far back.
Way back.
So again, she said, my name is Caroline Denise Lawrence. The name of my company is Emerge Services. I am located in Lima, Ohio, but I have clients all over. So if you want to reach out to me after, you can do that. Although you're in Georgia, I still can try to assist you. My company is a consultant company, and as a disclaimer, I have to put this out there that I am not associated with the Social Security Office. I'm not an authorized rep, nor do I'm not an attorney. So that's just something that I have to put out there because people seem to think that I retired from the Social Security Administration. They still call me the Social Security lady, and I have to correct them because I have to let them know that no, I'm not the Social Security lady. I'm a Social Security consultant, but I'm not associated with the Social Security Office. And hopefully today I could be able to give you guys some nuggets and give the community some information and bring some awareness about Social Security and then kind of also eliminate some of the rumors that's going around.
Okay. And I told Mrs. Lawrence, even if we don't get through because there's so much information, that we will come back and if she wants to do a part two, because I want to make sure that she give you the information, and then you can reach out to her through her business and take care of that for her. Miss Lawrence, let me ask you a question. It's a new
Yes.
law. It's a new law that's coming out, had came out, and people that's turning 65 have to sign up for Medicaid or Medicare care. Is that right?
Well, you know what? It's a lot of people think that it's a new law, but it's not a new law. It's just that when you turn 65, you're eligible to sign up for Medicare. So you can sign up for Medicare 3 months before or 3 months after you turn 65. So you're going to start getting a lot of information from all these different organizations when you turn right before you turn 65. So it's a choice, it's an option. At 65, you're eligible, but you do not have to sign up for Medicare once you turn 65.
Okay. Would you be penalized if you don't sign up for this? Because
Well, they
that's
call it a penalty, but the penalty works like this. Like, say, for instance, right now, the Medicare Part B, so we're going to talk about Part B, is it covers the doctor visits. That's B as in boy. And that's the one that is a monthly premium that comes out of your Social Security check every month. So that's $202.90 per month right now. So if you don't sign up for it right now, say for instance, you're turning 65 this year. Right now, the premium is $202.90. and you don't sign up for Medicare Part B right now, you could lock into the $202.90. But if you wait 3 years later and you sign up for the Medicare Part B, who knows what that amount might be at that time. So I guess that's what people call a penalty.
Okay. So
Because if it may be, if you wait 3 years from now, it might be $250. So you'll miss out on the opportunity to be able to get it at a lower premium, which is the $202.90.
you have a part A, a part B, part C, part D. So people that do sign up, do everybody have to get part A?
Well, the part A is free. So my
Okay.
take on that is why wouldn't I want it if it's free,
Okay.
right? So the part A covers your hospital coverage. And
Okay.
the part A is not a monthly premium for that. So when you turn 65, you don't want to, turn down the part A if it's free. But if you're still working, some people choose not to sign up for the part A because they have the coverage through their employer. Now, also, one thing to keep in mind, if you're still working and you're covered under a group health plan, you do not need to pay $202.90 if you're covered under your employer for the
Okay.
Medicare Part B. You can sign up for the Medicare Part A, which is free, and you could refuse the Medicare Part B if you like.
Okay. So what about people like that have military, retired from the military? They working, their spouse is working, so that's three insurance.
Right,
But
right.
do they, if they sign up for A,
Mhm.
do they have to sign up for B, C, or D?
Very good question. So, if you have a spouse, like say for instance, can we use you as an example?
Yes,
Like
yes,
say for instance, um, you have a spouse and you're working, right?
yes.
And your spouse is covered. First, the first entity we're going to just talk about if they're not military. But
Okay,
if they're not military and the spouse is working and the spouse has a good health care coverage and she has her husband covered under her plan, you wouldn't need to sign up for the Part B because it's $202.90. That's just another premium that you'll be paying. So your spouse will be paying monthly or biweekly or however her company deduct that premium. And then also, then if you sign up for the Part B, then you'll be paying $202.90 when you really don't need to because you already have the coverage. And now the next part of that, when you mention military, is a lot of individuals that have been in the military, they don't sign up for the Medicare Part B because they have health care coverage through their as being a veteran. They
okay.
go to the VA administrate, they go to the clinic for their coverage if they need any assistance with their medical.
So what if they have like majority of the military people, and I'm going to use me as an example, we have TRICARE,
Mm-hmm.
which is insurance that we pay yearly or monthly. So
Okay.
how do that kick in?
What I would advise if you're in the military and you have TRICARE and your spouse is covered under the TRICARE as well, definitely direct that question to TRICARE to see if that would affect TRICARE in any type of way if you do not sign up for the Medicare Part B. Would
Okay,
that kick the question would be, how would that affect my spouse?
okay,
You know,
gotcha.
so if I don't sign up for Medicare Part B and my spouse is still under the TRICARE and I'm covered under the TRICARE, how would that work? Would one affect the other? So that question would definitely be referred to TRICARE.
Okay. What if people, Denise, that let me call, I'm gonna call you Denise.
You
Cause
okay?
here, cause I'm gonna get, I'm that Caroline and that Miss Lawrence, I'm gonna call you Denise. So let me
Okay.
ask you, people that work is on Social Security, disability, or Social Security, and they can make so much money a month, if
Mm-hmm.
they make over with they supposed to make, do
Mm-hmm.
they get penalized?
Well, you could, again, we could call it penalty, but it could create an overpayment. So if you're receiving disability, you want to be very careful and you want to know exactly how much you allowed to make depending on what type of program you're on, because it's two programs. You have Social Security disability and then you also have SSI.
Let's talk
So
about both of them programs and
okay, so
kind
your
of help
social
people.
right. So your Social Security disability is is a program for people who have worked and paid into Social Security, and it is a limit that they can make. Give me 1 second. For 2026, I'm going to give you the exact number. If you're on disability, um, the monthly amount that you could make is $1,690. If you stay under that while you're on disability, then it will not create an overpayment. But it's
Okay.
also another part of that that you have to keep in mind, because you also have to look at the trial work periods. And if somebody is on disability, I would definitely suggest that they either contact me as a consultant or contact the Social Security office, because you also want to understand your trial work periods as well. Because once you allow 9 of those,
Okay.
throughout the lifetime that you're on your disability. And once you use those up, then you have to stay under a certain amount.
Okay.
So you don't want that to affect your disability. So it can be kind of complicated. So the trial work period is less than the $1,600 per month, which I said it was about 1,690. The trial work period is less. So a trial work period is saying, I don't know for sure that I can work, but I just want to test the waters. So they give you 9 of those. So the trial work periods for 2026 is $1,210. So
Okay.
basically, if you use up your 9 trial work periods, which is a $1,210, then you also have to take a look at, am I under the 1,600? So basically, I try to tell people, just if you stay under the $1,200 a month, you don't have to worry about the trial work periods, and plus you're also under the 1,690.
So with this trial period, just say if you use your 9 or 10,
Mm-hmm.
do they have to start the program all over again, go through the process again, or they just off?
Possibly,
Oh,
possibly.
okay.
Like in certain situations, if you're no longer working and you're not over the substantial gainful activity amount, like say for instance, if you used up your trial work periods and then, hey, I'm not working anymore, I'm not doing it anymore, um, you could ask for expedited reinstatement if your benefits get cut off, but I try to advise people before you get into that pickle,
Okay.
try to educate yourself and get informed before you even accept this employment. So you'll know if it's going to be a good fit for you or not based on the type of benefits that you get monthly. And
Okay.
and I think a lot of times that's what we do. You'll go get a job and then you start working and then you don't think about it until later. But anybody that's on disability, I would advise them to definitely try to get all the information they need so
Hmm.
they'll know where they stand. Now
And
you go
go
ahead.
go on. I'm looking down because I'm getting a message to share. So keep talking. I hear you.
Okay. Now, far as the SSI is a needs-based program. It's
Oh,
based on low income, low resources. It's a state-funded program. So that amount is way less that you're allowed to make, that where it will not affect your SSI monthly payments. And that amount is anything over $85 per month will
okay.
lower or could lower the monthly payment that you get on SSI.
Okay. Let me if let's go back to this part. B, A, B, C, and D. Just
Yes.
say in part D is where what I think it's
D
part
is for
D.
drugs.
Okay,
That's
D
for
is for
your
drugs,
prescription
and
drug
this the
plan.
C is for the dental and the eye exam. What
Well,
if you don't? Hmm?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure you know that C is for a supplemental plan.
Okay, so what if you don't want the eye plan and the dental? Do you still have to pay for that?
You're saying for what's top, like a supplemental plan?
Yes. Do you still do
Okay.
that?
Okay, and just so you'll know, I'm not an
I.
insurance agent.
Hmm.
So I would advise you that question should be directed to an insurance agent that actually sell these type of plans, so you'll know exactly what type of plan that you got, what's covered, what's not covered, and if that would be inclusive in that particular plan.
Okay, because I know I did get a question that someone told me that out of their Social Security that they get a month, they're paying for the medical, the dental, the eye
Mm-hmm.
exam,
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost $300. But when they went to the dentist, they got this big bill, and they were
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Why should we have to pay when we still got the big bill?" So that's why that was one of the questions
I
that,
understand.
yeah,
And I think that that is a whole nother segment. And it
okay,
probably it's a good idea if you can actually have an agent, an agent that actually sell those particular health plans, those supplemental plans, and then those type of questions that people have, that they question can be addressed through an actual insurance agent that sell those
and
plans.
I got an insurance agent. So the next time that you have, if you want to come back, we're gonna have both of you guys on there,
Awesome,
and you
awesome,
can talk. Cause she
awesome.
said, um, tell me about 65 when the wife turned 65 and she
Okay.
stopped working. What happens?
Okay. So when the wife turns 65, she's still going to get all these different literatures and all these different things in the mail from different places because they know you're turning 65. So if the wife turns 65, if she have a spouse, she's fortunate enough to have a spouse that he's still working and she's covered under his plan through his employer, then she don't have to sign up for the Medicare Part B. She could sign up for the Part A because remember that's free.
Okay.
So she don't have to sign up for the Part B. But if you have an individual such as myself and turn 65 with no spouse, then then if I'm working and I'm covered under a group health plan, I'm okay. If not, then I'll be signing up for the A and B.
A and B. Okay, what if both of the spouses retire and now they got to be forced to get the A, B, because you can't have B, you
With
can't get C without B. Is that correct?
Right. You get, yep. And the D for drugs. So in order to sign up for the D for drugs, you have to be signed up for the B, the A and B. So it's like you can't skip one and jump to the other one. So the D for drugs, just to give you a little information about that, a lot of people in the community, they don't know about the prescription the 100% subsidy for the prescription drug plan, but you have to qualify for it. So it's not for everybody, but it's a program where if you qualify and you choose a prescription drug plan, your drug plan may cost $30, but if you approve for this program and you're on the 100% subsidy, they'll pay half of that. So
Okay.
instead of you paying 30, they may pay, you may only have to pay 15, but it's
Okay.
worth trying to see because everybody may not be as fortunate and they may not be in a certain category when it comes down to income. But a lot of people in the community, they don't know about the 100% subsidy that can help with the prescription drug plan costs
Wow.
monthly.
And I'm not in Lima, but I'm going to ask you: have anyone reached out to you, because I think this would be great information for the community, for
Thank
you
you.
to go into their churches when they have health fairs for you to give this information? Because when you know better, you do better.
Exactly,
Have
exactly.
anybody
And yes, and they have. I
great.
really have to say Lima have been phenomenal when it comes down to support. I've been to several churches in the community. Actually, I went to your sister's. I went to Pastor Jones' church, your sister's church. Yes.
Okay,
So
okay,
I
great.
went there. I've been to the community. I've been to assisted living facilities and I did presentations there. I've been to Bradfield Community Center. So I'm always out at LAPNIP. So I'm always in the community giving workshops and presentations because it's information that definitely need to go out to the community. And sometimes it's a matter of just understanding because I have a lot of people contact me and they like, well, why is this? Well, I don't understand. Well, why? So it's not that I can change it or nothing can be it can't be changed, but they feel better that they understand why I'm only getting maybe this amount. So if you break it down to them and you say, okay, well, this is the reason why you're getting this amount, it's like, okay, now I understand it, so I'm okay.
Okay. What if people that worked was on disability and they had insurance, they got insurance, but they were forced to get this insurance and then they've been penalized, but they had the insurance and was working, but they were on disability.
Okay, are you saying on disability through Social Security?
Yes,
Okay, they're on disability for Social Security and Medicare
right.
because when they're on disability with Social Security, they get Medicare. So you're saying they working and they also have insurance through their employer?
It was a question that
Mm-hmm.
someone, and I'm thinking they were working and they had insurance.
Okay.
But I think at the time they probably was out on disability or something,
Okay.
but they were forced to get this insurance, mean this law,
The Medicare.
Medicare, uh-huh, and
Mm-hmm.
then they were penalized. So do they still have to get penalized when they have insurance?
Well, it
Or do
depends
I
on what they.
or do I get penalized because I don't want the insurance and I'm still working? Do I get penalized?
And you know what? I think it's a matter of how do you look at it as being penalized. So
Okay.
if you look at it in a sense of I could pay $202.90 now, but because I choose not to get it and I'm not getting it, and so I didn't enroll in it, but then I waited 2 years later, 3 years later, and now I have to pay 50 more dollars or whatever that cost is. If you want to call that a penalty, then yeah. But it's not really, to me, it's just, it's a choice.
Okay.
It's a choice that you decide that, hey, I'm covered over here and I don't want it right now. I mean, that's just like your premiums with our car insurance. Sometimes that go up and we can't control that. But I don't look at that as being a penalty.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have do being on Medicaid and Medicare, do that affect people that have homes and so forth?
Well, when it comes down to Medicare, Medicare is different than Medicaid.
Tell me the
Medicaid
difference. Just tell me, cause
Medicaid is a state-funded program. Medicaid is based on low income, low resources. They look at every resource, your income, and they look at your resources. So Medicaid is low income, low resources. And with Medicare, you don't have to prove your income and your resources to get Medicare.
okay.
That's
Gotcha.
that's that's the difference. So when you're dealing with Medicaid, they may ask, how many homes you have, how many cars you have, how much money you have in the bank, who you live with, is it an income that they all of that information, so if a person really want to check on Medicaid, they'll check through, well, here we call it Jobs and Family Services, not really sure what they call it in Georgia.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't qualify for Medicaid because of their income and resources. So then they have to wait until, 65 and then get Medicare, or if they become disabled 2 years after that and get Medicare. But then you have some individuals, they low income and low resources and they turn 65, so they're getting both. They get Medicare and then they also on Medicaid and they on the QMB program where they don't have to pay the $202.90 Medicaid pay that for them.
Really?
Yes.
So how could you get on that? How could you get on that program, or how you know you can get on that program? Do I
Have low
qualify?
income.
Look. When I get 65, do I qualify for that program?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, I asked. Okay.
Remember, low income, low resources.
Okay.
And
Explain.
not no disrespect to people that's, we're fortunate where we're not in that bracket, but you have a whole group of people that's in that bracket of low income, low resources, and I'm glad that it is a Medicaid. It is something out there
Absolutely.
for individuals that some individuals never worked. Some individuals haven't paid into Social Security. They can't get, Medicaid, that Medicare that way. So they have to go and get Medicaid.
Good, good, good. What? Tell me a little about. I think it's SSI. Can you get
Mhm.
SSI and the Medicaid and Medicare all together? Can you get that?
You can get some people they're on both programs. Like you have some people unfortunate, they had some unfortunate situations happen in their life, and maybe 10 or 15 or 20 years was gone of their life that they didn't work and they didn't pay into Social Security. So they end up getting on SSI. So when they get on SSI, they find out that I did work a little bit. I didn't work a lot, but I worked enough so I could be getting um $400 a month over here from Social Security disability, and then the rest of it I could be getting on SSI. So then I qualify for Medicaid, and then plus I'm also going to be getting Medicare. And then I'll probably qualify for the QMB program where the Medicaid will pay the premium of $202.90, and then I don't have to worry about that premium. If
Okay.
they remember, they have to look at the income and resources
Okay.
for that as well.
So I've heard, and you can tell me, people that pay into Social Security, they go by the last 5 years that you work, and that determines
Um,
how much money you get a month.
it's the high 35. Your highest 35 years. So I'll just use my own self for an example. When I retired, uh fortunately I got a promotion, and those last what 15 years was my highest years. And then
Okay.
the rest of them was the low. I had some low years, which I call it low, but in somebody else's eyes, it probably wouldn't be low.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to take out if I had some, and I've been working ever since I was 16.
Okay.
So at the age of 16, I got some really low years, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they're going to take out those low years and they're going to count up the highest 35.
Okay. Okay. So
Mhm.
that make me feel a little bit better. Okay. So after 65,
Yes.
and if you decide that you want to work till you get 80, how do
Mhm.
that affect these benefits?
Okay. So say for instance, I use myself for example again. Say for instance, I start receiving my benefits at 62. And I start
Mm-hmm.
receiving my Social Security at 62. But I still want to work, and I'm going to work until I'm 80 years old. If you look at your pay stubs when you're working, even after you retire, if you look at your pay stubs, they're still taking out Social Security. They're still taking out that deduction out of your pay stub. So you're still paying into Social Security. So you will see, depending on how much you make, you will see an increase on your Social Security. If you retire and at the age of 62, you receive like $1,600 a month, right? But you
Mm-hmm.
continue to work and you're still paying into the pot. You're still paying into the pot. That 1,600 is going to continue to go up. You'll get credit for that still.
Okay. Let me. I got a couple questions. Some people receive pensions. Would this disqualify them from receiving Social Security?
Okay, so it was a new law that came in effect of January of 2025. It was called the Fairness Act.
Mm-hmm.
So, and People had really fought and fought and fought for that for many, many years to get that law changed. Like, say, for instance, school teachers, police officers, firefighters, me, federal workers. If you receive a pension from there when you retire, if you could not, it your benefits from Social Security would be offset based on how much you get. So it's called a government pension offset and also a windfall elimination provision. So that's no longer. So if you retire, if you was a school teacher or you was a like under FERS, STRS, FERS, STRS, any of those programs or any of those organizations, when you retire, you're able to receive that full pension, like me as a federal worker, my full pension plus my Social Security when I retire.
I'm coming to live with you.
No, no, it's called the Fairness Act. So no, that's no more. And then if someone have any questions about, say for instance, if they came to Social Security office about before this was effective, if they came to Social Security office about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, and they was told, "Oh no, I can't get anything because of the pension," you want to revisit that and you want to call Social Security because they were sending out a lot of letters. But think about it. I mean, some people maybe slip through the cracks. So you want to make sure you didn't miss out on anything. And if they owe you some retroactivity, you want that. So
Okay.
definitely, if you work for any of those entities like a school teacher or police officer, federal worker, post office, correctional officer, and I could go on, you definitely want to contact the Social Security office and see if you qualify for any retroactivity if some of your benefits was offset.
Okay. Here's another question. What income bracket would disqualify a person not to be able to receive Social Security or Medicare?
Okay. Um, far as the income bracket, it's a certain bracket. It's called IRMA that you would go into if you make a certain amount of money. And I'm going to look that up real quick.
Okay.
That it won't be that you won't qualify for Medicare. It's just that you would pay more. Like, say, for instance, if you're in a certain bracket, most people pay the $202.90, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you make a certain amount, then you would have to pay the 202.90 plus some on top. And I'm getting ready to look at the income bracket. If that person look up IRMA, then they can be able to see that. Are they on the, is that somebody that called in?
That's a question I got. You can put that in the chat. And
Okay.
then, yeah. Yeah, somebody asked that question.
Okay. If they look up IRMA, that'll be able to give them the actual
Gotcha.
amount. Now, that won't disqualify them for Medicare. It just means that they'll have to pay, they pay more.
Okay. Um, keep on talking. I'm going to get that question. Keep on talking.
Okay,
Give us some
okay.
information.
One of the things that I want to mention is I try to tell the people in the community is to try to set them up a My SSA account. The My SSA account is the account that you can personalize for yourself, and you can set up an account through the Social Security website, and it allow you to do a lot of different things. That way, you don't have to contact the Social Security office. Like right about now, this season, people want their 1099 individuals that's receiving Social Security, they want to probably get benefit verification. You know, they may need their 1099, they may need to change their address or their phone number or update the direct deposit, or they may want to apply for benefits. These are all of these different things. The My SSA account, if they set that account up, they can do these things on their own and they don't have to contact the Social Security office. I just put that in my, okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Somebody asked, what do IRMA stand for?
okay. IRMA stand for, I want to make sure that I don't mispronounce it.
You can put that in there. And
Okay.
why you doing that? I got the question because I have the senior moment and forget.
Okay.
People,
It's income related monthly adjusted amount.
okay. What about people that was in the military that did not pay into Social Security, but now they're working and they're paying into Social Security. They get a retirement from the Social Security. They getting a disability check from Social Security. Now you I mean from the
From the
military.
VA?
Yeah, then you get your Social Security on your new job. They're paying out. So how do that work, Denise?
Okay, so when you mean housework, so one of the things I want to mention is that if you're a veteran and you're getting a monthly payment as a veteran, and then you go to the Social Security office and you also paid into the Social Security system, and you want to receive that monthly payment from Social Security, so that will not affect your VA amount, will not affect the amount that you get from Social Security. I
It
can
won't
tell you that
it
part.
won't affect your retirement or your disability check.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
So do everybody that work pay into Social Security?
If you getting a paycheck, you're not working under the table.
Right, right. Okay. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
if you ain't getting.
If you because and you know what, this is another thing. Self-employment, and we really need to talk about that
Let's
because
talk
I'm
about it.
self-employed now. And a lot of the newer generation, a lot of people have LLCs. It was just a whole wave went through with everybody start opening up LLCs. So it all depends on your tax preparer. Have a good relationship with your tax preparer. So however your tax preparer prepare your taxes to make sure you're getting credit for the money that you are making, so it's going into Social Security. So even if you're doing self-employment, you still, depending on how much, long as your adjusted gross income is a certain amount, that amount goes into your Social Security.
Oh, awesome. So do the people pay for that? Do you have to pay for that?
Uh,
That go
when
into your Social Security? Do you have to pay for that?
when you say you have to pay for it,
If
meaning,
if I got a lawn service
okay.
and at the end of the year I file my taxes,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't tell them that I ain't made but just say $5,000, how do that some of that money go into the Social Security cup?
It's going to go by it being reported to IRS. So
Okay.
that means the person that does your taxes, if
Okay.
you had, like, how you file your taxes and at the end you might have all of these write-offs.
Right.
So at the bottom, if your adjusted income is a certain amount, that adjusted income is the amount that goes to Internal Revenue Service, and that's from Internal Revenue Service. Social Security get that information, and that's what shows, okay, well, for 2025, this particular person had paid $5,000. Her adjusted, or his adjusted gross income was $5,000, and that's how much they paid into the Social Security.
Okay. People with disability, kids like autism, how can they get the help through Social Security for their child?
Okay, so um unfortunately, it doesn't matter what type of medical condition that you have. Everybody have to file. You still have to file an application. Whether whatever type of medical condition it is, if you think that that medical condition affects your lifestyle and you haven't, you don't foresee that you're going to be working for, at least a year, and even if you are working, if your substantial gainful activity amount is less than what we talked about, the $1,690, you have to file an application, and that kid would need to file an application. But I would suggest before then, because a lot of times we want to file for different things, but we don't have a paper trail or we haven't been developed.
Mm,
So if I come to you and I say, I have this medical condition and I want to file for disability, my first question, or if somebody come to me, my first question is, when have you been diagnosed? Have you had an assessment? Have you been diagnosed? So, and when the last time you went to the doctor for this medical condition? If you haven't been to the doctor in like 2 years, okay, how are we going to prove, or how are you going to prove this to Social Security so they can show on paper that you actually have this medical condition?
Okay. Do people how does this affect like seniors that need like Meal on Wheels, food stamps? Could they still get the Social Security and get these programs also?
Okay, so I definitely suggest that soon as I mean, if you're receiving Social Security benefits, I always advise my clients to contact, in our area is Area Agency and Aging, because they have a lot of different programs that's available for us that we don't take advantage of in our community. We don't know about it, so we don't take advantage of it. So it's a lot of different programs that's available through. That's the first thing you want to contact if you want to find out what resources is available in the community, is Area Agency on Aging in your area. Contact those areas and say, hey, I want whatever you have available. I want to,
Right.
whether it's, Meals on Wheels, whether it's home health care, transportation, they could tell you about silver sneakers. It's just so many different things that could be available that you're missing out on. So and one thing that I definitely want to mention as well is contacting, your county tax commissioner's office for property tax exemption. Now, all of the details about that, who qualify, who don't qualify, I don't know. But if you're a homeowner and you're at least 62, I don't know if you have to be 62 or 65, but I do know that if you're a homeowner and you receive a Social Security benefits, it may be some type of tax exemption for your property tax
Yeah.
that you need to check into.
Now I know down here in Georgia they give you a tax exempt, and then
Mm-hmm.
when you get I think 65 in some areas of Georgia you don't have to pay taxes no more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
let me
And
ask you.
so, and
Go
so
ahead.
that now the details about it, I don't know, but definitely contact the county tax commissioner's office.
Okay, great, great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tell
And
me,
one more,
come
I'm
on.
sorry,
You
go
know
ahead.
you go on
Oh.
because I want you to give all the nuggets you can.
Okay, and another thing that I want to mention to the community is about the overpayment. A lot of people are on Social Security, and for whatever reason, they receive overpayment. It used to be where they could just extend the overpayment if you ask to pay installments over a 3-year period. They have extended that to 5 years.
Okay,
But
great.
you have to ask for it. You have to say, hey, I have a hardship. Can you extend it to 5 years? So that's definitely another thing I wanted to mention to the community, because just think about if you're paying a certain amount and then over a 3-year period, and then you get to extend it over 5 year, that will definitely lower that monthly amount, and you could do something else with that money.
Well, I've watched the news down here and how people say these seniors say that they didn't know they were getting overpaid. They were
Mm-hmm.
probably getting like $2,000 a month, and
Mm-hmm.
come to find out they were supposed to get that. So
Mm-hmm.
now they got this big lump sum of money that
Mm-hmm.
the Social Security want their money back. Do you think this me in your opinion? Do you think that's fair?
Well, you know what? A lot of times, um, it's hard to prove if you say, okay, well, I shouldn't, yeah, okay, maybe I shouldn't have got the money, but you paid.
Right.
They did the overpayment. But if it's a situation that an individual have that, I would say dispute it. If you just go along with it, then, at least try to fight it or dispute it. And if it come down to the point that you do owe the money, that's when that hardship asking for that extension to see, okay, well, if I do owe it, can you at least give me 5 years to pay that back?
Okay. Do you guys have anything up there in Ohio where, just say if I just get broke down and I have to, my son have to put me in the nursing home, and
Mm,
I had not transferred my house, and my house is still in my name, do my house be turned over to the nursing home?
okay, so that's a question with, like, here we have Jobs and Family Services.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I know maybe a lot of people have heard of the spin down.
I
Have you
never
heard
heard
of?
of. No, what
Okay,
is it?
okay. So basically, the if Medicaid is going to pay for you to be in a nursing home, not you per se, but for an individual to be in a nursing home, you it's going right back to the income and resources. You know, the different things that you have in your name. And you have to direct the question to Jobs and Family Services, but it's certain criterias that you have to meet, and they ask you to spend down this money. In
Okay.
order for them to pay for you, you have to spend down this money, and you have to have documentation showing how you spent it down.
Okay.
And that money could even mean, that house,
Okay.
because that house could be turned into liquid. That could be turned into money.
Okay. So if I have to, if I just say if I have to go into the nursing home, is it, and you probably don't know, is it a certain time that I have to turn my house over to little Johnny?
I'm sorry for laughing, but
Okay.
it's
Is it
it's that's a question with Jobs and Family Services
okay? Okay. Okay.
through Medicaid,
Got you.
because Medicaid is the ones that's going to be paying that bill at the nursing home.
Okay.
And they have very, very strict rules. And I have had individuals call me asking me, they was fortunate and they had a little, a nest egg put away.
Mm-hmm.
And they also had a house in their name and different things like that. And it's like, you mean I have to spend everything? I have to get rid of everything? So I directed them to Jobs and Family Services because that's not my expertise.
Okay.
Hmm.
So this ain't you saying this. This is me saying this. So
Uh-oh.
if I know I got $1 million in the bank and I'm trying to go into the nursing home or get some help, I need to probably try to get that money in somebody else's name or go out there and try to buy me everything. Just go to the casino and just blow it all so I can get
That's
the
what,
resources.
okay, now you going back down to the spin down. So the spin down meaning, do you think they're not going to ask you how you spent that money down?
Yeah, you're right. You're
You're
right.
going
Got
to
to
have to
have
have,
proof.
hey, what they say, receipts,
Receipts. You gonna have to show receipts. That's right.
receipts.
I got you. God, Denise, we gonna be coming down to the end. We got about
We
just about got
coming,
about 10
okay,
minutes. Come on, come on. Give me whatever you got to give. I'm gonna get whatever you want to talk about. Let's talk about it. You got 10 minutes. Let's go.
okay. So let me see something else that I definitely wanted to mention is, what about working while receiving retirement payments?
Yes, let's
Like,
talk
say,
about
for
that.
instance, if you're under your full retirement age and you still want to work and still receiving your Social Security payments for 2026, the income limit is $24,480. And then when you reach your full retirement age, you could work, and the sky's the limit. You can make as much as money you like.
Okay.
So,
So
like me, my full retirement age, probably yours too, is 67.
okay.
So at 67, I could work and make as much as I want to, plus receive my Social Security.
Okay. So what if I'm 50 and I'm finna retire from General Motors.
Okay.
Because if you notice how people retire from General Motors,
Yeah,
they
they
make all
retired younger, didn't
they
they?
make all that money, and then I remember they retire and then they go be bus boys up at the
Oh,
grocery store. You see, and I be
yeah.
like, do that make pass the common sense test? So if I retire at 50 years old, I'm getting my pension
Yes,
from
from
my
General
job,
Motors.
but I'm not getting my Social Security.
Right.
So
So,
do I have to pay a penalty?
no, ma'am. So this is the thing. It was your choice to retire from General Motors.
Okay.
So you have that pension over there from General Motors. And then when you turn 62, you could start receiving your Social Security. Because while you was working at General Motors, remember you was paying into Social Security. So you'll also be eligible for your retirement payments at the age of 62.
Got you.
Or you
Got you.
don't have to receive it at 62. You could wait until your full retirement age. And
So
then if you receive the lump sum from General Motors, that if that lump sum will not affect your retirement payment.
what is my retirement age now? You say 67?
That's our full
Okay, let me see.
full. Full retirement age is 67.
And I don't have to pay no penalties. I can get all my money.
You could work and make $1 million if you wanted to.
Okay, 67. Okay, got 3 more years. I'd be what, 60 what? Yeah, I
Well,
got you.
yep,
I can do it
but right now, while you're under 67, you're subject to the $24,480.
if I retire.
Yes. If you retire at 62. Well, if you retire anytime before the age of 67, your earnings limit is $24,480.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And if
Okay.
you go over that, it's $1 for every two that you go over.
Okay. So you saying me and you got to work till we get with 67?
Well, look, well, I already done signed up for my retirement.
Eh,
I
well,
re
huh?
I signed up for mine, and it's a personal preference.
Okay.
Some people want to work and they want to wait until 67. Me personally, I'm like, as soon as I turn 62, I'm eligible. I want my money because I'm looking at it this way. At 62, if I can get the money for all this time, look how much money I could gather up in those 5 years. Just because I want to wait until 67 just to get $100 more, no, I would rather get all of my money now.
See, now you done gave me something to think about.
We
Thank
could
you.
talk about that later.
Okay, you done gave me something to think about. So give me a little bit more, cause my land, we got 7 minutes. Give me a little bit
Okay.
more.
Another thing that I wanted to mention is some people, if they're on retirement, they can have taxes withheld from their Social Security payments. It's a choice. Before you make that decision, I would advise you to talk to your tax preparer and say, hey, this is how much my retirement is. This is how much my wife get. This is how much our household income. Do you think it's advantageous for me to sign up for to have taxes withheld? If you want taxes withheld, you could have 7, 10, 12, or 22% withheld from your taxes.
Okay.
I mean, of taxes withheld from your Social Security. I'm sorry.
Do people, like, if I retire, do I still have me not retire? If I just get Social Security or SSI, do I still have to file taxes at the end of the year?
And that's why if you have taxes coming out, that puts you in a certain bracket and then you file that. If you don't have taxes coming out, then you don't have to file taxes on that.
Okay, great. What about the people like veterans or people that's homeless on the street that don't
Mm.
have an address? How do they get their money? How do they get their help?
Okay, well, that's a very good question because I have an Emerge Services outreach program, and my outreach program is I service a lot of homeless individuals, individuals in drug addiction, and individuals that have been incarcerated. So some of my clients actually are homeless, and I give my office address,
Okay, great.
for their information because they're floaters and sometimes they're over here, then they're over there. But I also know here in Lima that the post office, sometimes they'll let them use that, they have to use that PO box number, but they have to ask and see if they still can do that. But that's a very good question, and it's unfortunate that we're dealing with that in the community. But we do have a lot of people out there that need assistance, and they don't know where to turn to or how to start. So fortunately, I've been very fortunate to work with United Way. I partner with United Way, and through that, partnering with the Lighthouse and Coleman Behavior Services in our community, they caseworkers bring them to me, and then
Okay.
I'll assist them, with doing their application and walk them and helping them navigate through the whole process of trying to get their disability benefit.
I'm asked this question, and this is a political question. You can answer, you don't have to. I read and I hear so much that people saying that the immigrants, the Haitians, the Mexicans, they're coming over getting all these resources, but don't have documentation, and they're taking all our money.
Hmm.
Explain. They can't get that unless they have documentation. Is that correct?
Oh, definitely. I mean, even through Social Security to file for disability. I mean, even to get a Social Security card. It goes all the way back to even getting a Social Security card or, getting work status. It's a paper trail, and it's different things that have to be done to be able to get certain resources. Um, my heart goes out to certain individuals because I feel like, I could be one of those individuals.
Amen.
It could be me,
Hmm.
and I'm fortunate enough to be able to take advantage of all the resources that we have in our, in the United States, and they're here. So what do? We try to help them as much as we can. I has assisted some individuals trying to get Medicaid, with their, Haitians, immigrants that tried to get Medicaid. But they only had one individual person that helped because they didn't have the help they needed, and they had one person to speak on their behalf. And I tried to advocate, and I tried to do as much as I can. I look at it as any human being that come up to me, it doesn't matter what your nationality is.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to not help you because whatever, XYZ. But because I look at myself and I say it could be me. So if they need help, I try to assist them in any type of way. And I do the same for my people, any race. I try to do that, so.
I think that's a thing from up north where we come from. It's just how we was brought up.
Exactly.
Because I hear often that the illegals is getting all our food stamps, and they can't get food stamps and all that unless they have documentation. Is that correct?
Definitely. That's correct.
They can't go to the hospitals unless they be documented as United States,
Hmm. I
right?
understand what you're saying. I understand what you're
Is that
saying.
correct?
And you can't get Medicaid. I mean, it's certain documentations. I mean, first of all, you have to the first start, let's start with the Social Security number. Let's start there. So and it's documentations that's needed to be able to get a Social Security number. Oh,
Okay.
and that's another thing I wanted to mention.
Come
On
on.
my SSA account, once you get that set up, you can order a Social Security card. You don't
Okay.
have to contact the Social Security office. You can order a Social Security card on that site as well.
Before we close out, you just talked about Social Security card. I was born Demita K. Hinton, Social Security number.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want my Social Security card changed into the married name,
Mm-hmm.
I still keep the same number. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Only time that I ever seen a number was changed was because of spiritual reason, and the person had a 666, and they didn't. I mean,
Okay.
that's not funny, but they didn't want it. They didn't want it. I mean, that 666 was in there. They didn't want it, and they did the necessary and brought the necessary documents, and it was for spiritual reasons, and they didn't want it, so they got their number changed.
I know when I was younger, when I lost mine, I can go up there on North Street, I think if it's still there, and get me a Social Security card. You can't,
Hmm.
you have to go to another office now or order it online.
It's a lot of things that they are doing in the offices, and a lot of things they're not. A lot of things are by appointments only. But I did mention that you can order a Social Security card online.
Okay.
You
Okay,
can
great.
do that. But
Okay.
if you have some things that you need to take care of, definitely contact the Social Security office first to see if you need to make an appointment instead of just showing up there. And I also want to mention again, as a disclaimer, I'm not associated with the Social Security office. I'm not an authorized rep. And I just wanted to put that out there because a
Okay.
lot of people think
Because
I'm
you
part of
work
the
there.
Social Security because I worked there for many, many years, but I'm not associated with the Social
She
Security.
retired, y'all. Y'all leave
I'm
her alone.
retired.
Well, Denise, we have come
Thank you
down to,
so
wait,
much.
hold up. We have come down to the end of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you your closing real quick. I want to thank you for coming. If once we talk, if you want to come back on with the insurance agency, I'll let you know and we come back because I think this is great information. And as things change, then your information would change. But you you
Yes.
you were spot on. Thank you so much. You want to give your closing remarks?
Yes. I was honored And thank you for giving me this platform. Thank you for having me and asking me. I would be honored to come back because I do have a health insurance agent that I partner with. When somebody asks me a question, then I'll contact them. And I'm sure he would love to
Okay.
be a part, and I would love to come back again. And my information is there, Emerge Services, and it's www.emerge SCVS. Did you see that?
She just told me you put your website,
Yep.
put your
Hmm.
website, your office number, your business name in the chat box, and it'll go on the
Yes.
website.
And if you have any other questions for me, please feel free to
Say it.
contact
She
me.
just sent me a thing, say it.
Okay.
Have her to
It's
say it.
www.emerge Emerges V as in Victor, C as in cat, CS. That's the website. And then if
Office
you want to
number.
reach out to me, it's 419-905-8661. I service people in all different states. So just because I'm in Lima, Ohio, that doesn't limit me.
Okay, your business name.
Emerge Services, LLC.
Well, thank you, Denise. This is going to be on YouTube. She's probably going to upload it. Got another show, but once she upload it, you can take this and share this. And I want to thank you for taking my call. I look forward, and when I get home again, I'll make sure we go to dinner and sit down and chit chat.
That sounds good. I would
Thank you
love
so
that.
much. Thank you so much. Keep
Okay.
on doing what you're doing up there. Thank you so
Thank you. I
much.
appreciate you.
Uh-huh. Thank you.